Today is 119.9. We're in a day of 1 and 9. You know I love my 19s. This is knowledge being born into our space. This is the alignment of the Asar, the Ketters, and the All Set, the Yasad, the above and the below, the physical and the non-physical, the thought in the womb. You know what I'm saying? It's the foundation. We love it here. Everything starts with the thought, and everything has that foundation of Yasad, the divine womb. Okay, so we're on that day of 19, that one, like I said, being knowledge, being the Ketters, being the gut that controls the mind, associated with Ogun and Aries, and everything starts with the thought. And we move in gratitude. Hey, Leonidas, welcome back. Then we have the 9, which is your Sod, which is Cancer energy, the moon, the divine womb. We got the energy of being birth, completion, wholeness, all of that fun stuff. So we're going to take that 1, that cardinal energy, that intellect of the 9 of what we want to give birth to, because now we're working on giving birth to the things that we want into our space. You know what I'm saying? So start planning and organizing the things out. Take that first foot forward into the movement of getting those things together. And that brings us to knowledge in our cipher, that Ogun cardinal leadership energy in our cipher, Malkuth, Jeb, bringing things to our earthly realm. Okay, that's what happens on the 1 and 9. This is a great day for my leaders, my cardinal energy. Whether you're a cardinal astrological sign or you are born on a day of 1, which is 1, 10, 19, and 28. So if you're born on those days of the month, this is a great day for you guys taking leadership and, being relied on to be that leader in the room, management, all that fun stuff. This is a great day for my 1, my 4s, and my 7s. You know what I'm saying? My 8s too. My 3s, 6s, and 9s, and my 5s, when you guys get all flustered and all over the place, my 2s too, because y'all like to see duality and all things. But at some point in time, you're going to have to pick the 1. You know what I'm saying? So finding some sense of structure, at least some sense of confidence and courageousness, and a little bit of methodology, having a method. Having a method towards what it is that you want is key here, right? So we're going to take that 1 and we're going to put it into the month of 1. This is the month of the Ketters. This is the month of intellect, that cardinal, that leadership energy. This is the month of the swords, the gut that controls the mind, and everything starts with the thought, the solar plexus chakra, the Aries that rules over the first house, the Ogun energy. Hey, Rose. Hey, Jesus. So we're going to take that day of 1 and add it to the month of 1, and that's going to bring us to the 2, So now we're in this balance, harmony, justice, which is really cool because we're closing up the second decade of the month, and we're going to be entering the third decade of the month tomorrow, but we'll get into that later. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be confused. You're more than welcome to come to me for a personal reading, or, you can rewind back to my previous mathematics. I do this every day. But yeah, so we're going to take this day of 1, we're going to put it into the month of 1. So now we have double the knowledge, we have double the intellect. We're, taking those initiatives, tapping into our cardinal selves, taking leadership today. And that's going to bring us to the harmony. 2 also deals with Chokma, which is Jupiter energy. This is wisdom. So now it's like you're taking your intellect, you're taking that knowledge and you're exercising it. It's kind of like when you have a scientific method and we take that hypothesis and we start testing it out, right? And it's giving us, these are the different kind of results we get. We're finding the truth, you know what I'm saying, through these, tests or experiments or whatever, what have you. So we're going to take that 2 of balance, harmony, justice, the bonds and contracts, interpersonal relationships. 2 also deals with Venusian energy, as Taurus rules over the second house, so priorities, sense of value, all those type of things. So we're going to take that 2 and we're going to put this into the year of 9, because everything we do, we want to give birth to, and we're in the year of harvest. I see you, Rose. I do personal readings. You guys can email me at lesnobodies@gmail.com if you would like a personal reading. On Wednesdays, I do collective readings on this platform. I could definitely do that for you then. But today, we're just going to do the mathematics. And if you stick with me at the end of this mathematics, I do a collective reading for you guys, and I do have my tarot cards. So stick around. So yeah, we're in the year of harvest. This is the year of Jubilee, as you guys do know that, right? 9 deals with completion, wholeness, the utopia, being philanthropic, being optimistic. We're dealing with that sacral chakra energy here, whether you're dealing with the 9 of Yasad and the Kabbalah, dealing with the divine womb, that Cancer moon energy. Paying attention to the moon is heavy here. Paying attention to the feminine energy and the cycles of feminine energy is big here as well. Or you're dealing with that 9 of Sagittarius and being expanded in abundance, all those things. Either way, this is the energy of the harvest and giving birth, right? So we're going to take that 2 that we got from having our knowledge on the 9s and put that into the month of the Ketters, and we're going to put it into the year of 9, because of course we want to give birth to the balance, harmony, and justice in our space, especially after finishing the 2nd decade of the month. Of course we want to give birth to these things that we've harmonized in our space. We want to have this in our reality, and that brings us to the number 11. Today is a day of mastery, okay? Today is a day of mastering self and what you want to do so well that you automatically become an inspiration to other people around you. Peace, y'all. Welcome, welcome. I love 11s. Y'all know I'm an 11 life path number. So this is a great day for my 11 life path numbers. 11, 22, 33, whether you're a master of self, master architect, or a master, teacher, or master creator. All in all, like, this is the day of mastery. Okay. So, we move in gratitude. 11 also comes into 2, which brings back that mindset of like mastering self so well that like your interpersonal relationships, your bonds, and your contracts get affected by it. Walking your truth, your justice, your wisdom, all of those things are key here on the 2s. And so what I want to do is I want to read with you guys the Netarus of the 2nd Sephirah with you guys. 2 is Jupiter Thursday. The color for today is blue and white. Tahuti is the comedic deity, and the Canaanites is Ratziel, and the Kabbalah is Chokmah, which is the 2nd Sephirah, wisdom. In a Yoruba, it's Orunmila, and the Hindu Kush is Chinamasta. The number here is 8, which is the number of building and destroying and transformation. The gems are yellow sapphire and lapis lazuli. Herbs for my herbalist back there. In the bath, you want thuja, and oils, you want lotus or sweet almond, and same for the incense for today. The hakals, or the mantras, words of power, is hung, Hung. And then so this is in divine alignment with the energy of Mayat, because Mayat is associated with the number 2, which is balance, harmony, and justice. So we get into the Chesed, which is the 4th Sephirah, imagining the things that we want to have in our space. So today is a great day of like taking that cardinal energy with your imagination. You know what I'm saying? So get into the energy of Mayat, how you manifest with the energy of Mayat. I'm going to read the positive traits of today is being just, equilibrated, holistic, generous, sharing, optimistic, liberal, magnanimous, moral sense, striving for advancement and wealth in a positive manner, religious, successful, fortunate, law-abiding, fair, charitable, deferring to elders, no trafficking with evil, and grateful or prudent. Some of the negative traits are being greedy, negatively expansive, like, indulging in so many things that it becomes like an addiction or an obsession. Pleasure seeking, being boastful, extravagant, unlawful, materialistic, wasteful, unsocial, unsuccessful, unfortunate, hypocritical regarding religion and the law, and having false religious, legal, or scientific tenets. Okay. Some mental traits: gaining insight into things by unifying them through the abstract analogies, hence well fitted for philosophical and theoretical, scientific, religious pursuits. Some careers that will be on the forefront today, maybe in the news, maybe on social media, in your life. Judges, experienced lawyers, theoretical scientists, theoreticians, theologians, bishops, cardinals, bankers, merchants, upper echelon priests and priestesses, fortune hunters, official managers. Okay, this is the doctrine of divine law and order, optimism, faith, love, abundance, and success in an individual undertaking. Those are the keys being on an 11 of mastery, as well as on the 2 of Mayat. To remind you guys of the gematria of the 2, that's associated with the letters B, K, and 2. Okay. B is fire, so taking action, feeling motivated, triggered to take that action. The letter K deals with water, so your intuition, your emotion here. And B, K, and T. Did I say 2? T is also associated with the number 2, which is earth. So bringing things into the material world, you know what I'm saying? So you got the taking action, listening to your intuition, and bringing it into fruition. Those are the letters for today. Being as though we started the day with the 19, which is 1, A, J, and S are the prominent letters in the overall, like, this is the day, you know what I'm saying? But as far as the life path, today the path is the self-mastery. Pay attention to the bonds and contracts and all those things like that. So that's what we have here too, like I said, 2, 5s, and 8s, this is a cool, space here, finding that balance, that sense of duality, being adventurous, but also having a sense of stability amongst it all. So we went through the mathematics, the gematria, and the Metu Neteru. So let's get into the astrological astronomical report. Yes? Yes. Okay. So we start the day off with a 75% waning gibbous moon rising at 11:01 p.m. and setting at 10:12 a.m. Okay. Now in the tropical, we just entered in Libra. Okay. Peace and love to you. Glad to catch your live. I'm glad you called my live too, you boy. So we just entered Libra energy at a 0 degree. So mindset on that 11, on that 2, because Libra deals with the number 2. Those are the Libra scales. Those scales of justice are the Mayat scales of law, justice, truth, and power. So, that's what our mindset should be on. It should be on the fact that we're in this day of mastery, in this day of 2. Hey, Black Saturn. Now on the Draconic and the Vedic chart, so in our happenings, our energy exchanges, we're having spiritual experiences today, and they're both in Virgo. Okay, so Virgo is all about self-management, organization, being of service, that sense of equality. You get what you give. Okay, because we took that 2. Remember, we had the day of 1 and a month of 1, so we took that 2 and we put it into the harvest of 9 to get to the 11 to get back to the 2. You know what I'm saying? So remembering that when you have those energy exchanges, when you sit in that sense of equality, when your Libra scales or your Oba scales are balanced, that's when you get into the space of mastery. That's what you're going to experience today in that energy of Virgo. So remember that you're getting what you give. So if you don't like what you're receiving, fine tune your own energy, because it's really within that's in charge. Okay. We start the day off at a 12% Virgo in the Virgo constellation, 1 and 2, being that knowledge and wisdom that brings us to understanding in the Virgo energy. That's another key to the mastery. Okay. So we're in the Hasta nakshatra, which is the 13th nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It goes from 10 degrees Virgo to 23 degrees Virgo. Is ruled by the moon and associated with the deity Savitar, the solar god of motion, who represents vitality, new beginnings, and the creative power of the sun. Hasta is often considered as a nakshatra of craftsmanship, dexterity, and communication, associated with manual skills, learning, and the ability to transform ideas into reality. The Virgo influence on this nakshatra makes it excellent for activities requiring attention to detail, meticulous work, and problem solving. All right, Libra in the building. You were smack on it. I love it. Oh, hey, peace to Libra. Happy Libra moon. The symbol for Hasta is the hand, particularly the open hand or the clenched fist, which signifies skill, creativity, and the ability to handle things with dexterity. It's also associated with giving and receiving, bringing us back to that harvest energy, right? Representing the power to create and transform through hands-on action. The deity of Hasta is Savitar. This is the sun god of motion and vitality. Savitar is connected to renewal, energy, and the creative power of the sun. Excuse me. He also governs the morning sun, which is associated with new beginnings and bringing light to darkness. This gives Hasta an energy of empowerment and dynamic change. The moon rules over this energy, which influences emotional energy. The moon governs intuition, sensitivity, and emotion. So when the moon is in Hasta, there's a strong desire to engage with the environment using creativity and practicality. And the moon's influence can bring an emotional connection to craftsmanship, communication, and mental agility, making it easier for individuals to engage in intellectual tasks, manual work, and artistic pursuits. Some positive traits during this nakshatra is skill, dexterity, practical intelligence, saying them over and over again so it's embedded in your mind. Hey, CRP, Artcraft. Oh, we're talking about craftsmanship right now. See, look, you came in just in time. You must have heard my words. Some negative traits, the shadow side of this nakshatra involves overthinking, nervous energy, the tendency to become too fixated on details or minor tasks, leading to stress or lack of focus. So be mindful of that when we're in that Virgo energy on the Vedic and the Draconic chart. The tendency to overextend or take on too many projects. Remember, I talked about that, being all over the place. You want to find that middle ground, that focus. When I talked about the other numbers, like your 3s, 6s, 9s, and your 5s, you guys like to kind of, be here, there, and everywhere because you're such an empath. But with your empath and always putting everything and anything into consideration, and we know that you're good at everything, you're kind of losing your focus here. And it puts you in a space of, instead of being like, oh, I'm a person of many hats, it's like you're fickle. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard for you to master things with that kind of scattered approach. So be mindful of that under this moon. Learn how to you can have mental agility, but still have a sense of focus. So that's what we have with the nakshatras and the moon energy. The sun rises at 7:17 a.m. and setting at 5:03 p.m. We start the day off in at 29 degrees Capricorn, fourth house. So we are in that mastery degree. 29 degrees is a very difficult degree to be in because it's like that noise, that in between the channels, if you will. So like 2 and 9, again, we're in the day of mastery. And then the sun is at a degree of mastery in Capricorn. So today we're going to master that hardworking, that discipline, those challenges that give us the infrastructure that we need in whatever we're trying to achieve. Remember, we have Saturn over there with Venus over there in Pisces. So we're trying to find some sense of structure and, discipline and practicality in our imagination, the things that you guys want to see into fruition, the things you guys are utilizing your chesed to imagine into your vortex. Now it's time to really like plan them out and organize them. All right. And so let this 29 degree Capricorn in the fourth house, that house of home and family, also in the house of nurturing, because that is the Cancer house. That is also the house of born, right? Because Cancer rules over Yesod, which is the ninth sphere in the Sephiroth, which is the foundation of all things, which is the divine womb when we give birth to things, right? See how it's like a full circus. Yeah, it is a circus, but see how it's a full circle in your experiences. And now this is on the tropical chart. So this is your mindset. Got to get your mindset in order with this Capricorn degree. Now, on the Vedic chart, on the actual constellation of things, the sun just entered Capricorn a couple days ago. So we have the sun at 4 degrees Capricorn. So right now the sun is in alignment in Capricorn on the tropical, our mindset, the Vedic, our energy exchanges, and on the Draconic, our auric energy or our soul's experience. They're all in that space of hard work and paying attention to our long-term goals. Slow and steady wins the race. Finding some sense of practicality and infrastructure and authority of self. Who is your authority is the theme and has been the theme these last few days, between different transformations happening in electronic communication, which is also Saturn and Venus sitting over there in Aquarius constellation. So the happenings is infrastructure changes happening in how we communicate. Aquarius rules over the electronic communication. So this thing with TikTok is a divine alignment. Don't forget we have Pluto over there in Aquarius in our mindset, while Saturn and Venus are over there in Aquarius constellation, giving us the energy exchanges that Pluto and Aquarius is doing in our thoughts. Okay. I know I probably said a whole lot just now. That's why y'all need to take my class. But hopefully y'all still with me and I didn't lose you guys. So being at a 4 degree in Capricorn, we're in the Uttarashada nakshatra. And so I'm going to read a little bit about that. I know it's not the moon being in the lunar mansion, but the sun being near these stars does give us a little bit more details to our experience in Capricorn, if that makes sense. So the Uttara Nakshatra is the 21st nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It goes from 26 degrees Sagittarius to 10 degrees Capricorn. So we're still in that first pada of Capricorn right now in the constellations. This nakshatra is ruled by the sun. So the sun is kind of like in its home space right now, with the presiding deity being Vishwadevas, the universal god. This nakshatra is symbolized by a plank or a bed or the elephant tusk, representing both stability and strength. The ruling planet is the sun, like I just said. It brings the characteristics of leadership, authority, and a strong sense of self. So that's what a lot of your experiencing and your energy exchanges and the happenings is. Who is your authority? And how are they exercising that authority? Who are you giving power to in your space over your root chakra, your survival self? Are you giving it to the Federal Reserve? Are you giving it to the government? Are you giving it to your job? Are you giving it to your parents? Are you giving it to your peers? Is it you who owns it? And are you owning it from an indoctrinated place? Because you got to remember, Capricorn is Saturn, and that also rules over your understanding. So what are you standing under? And who gave you that understanding? Go back to your knowledge and wisdom, okay? And that's a whole bunch of shadow work, you hear me? And it's a great time there. And reach out if you need assistance, because I'm really good at what I do. This is the nakshatra of strength and perseverance and the ability to push through challenges and reach the goal. So I know a lot of you guys are going through a lot right now because we are in that winter time. We are in the darkness as far as the astrological wheel goes. We're beneath the horizon right now. So we're dealing with a lot of hidden things, a lot of stillness, a lot of things in the dark. It can't be seen, but it is felt. You know what I'm saying? So, we all in the same boat, just learn how to unite with the society around you for real, so that you could persevere, that me, I in this age of Aquarius with all these like planets and happenings happening in Aquarius, is best to move in the we at this moment in space and time. Now, yeah, go inward and do your inward work, but accept the personifications that represent your inward work. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't like the personifications that are surrounding you right now, then you need to do some internal tweaking. But if you are very comfortable with who you are on the inside, then the personifications around you shouldn't be triggering you to the point where you want to stay to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to do the work, and doing the work is having energy exchanges with other facets of God without, and having that sense of balance. So allow that to be the energy on this day of 2/11 mastery. Okay. So, and as far as us being in the Capricorn energy, we are in the month of Makara on the Hindu calendar. So I'm going to read that to you for my new people in here. We know that this is the earth element. This is the energy of Saturn. This is actually the last day of Makara because the sun will be entering Aquarius zodiac tomorrow. We will be entering the energy of Kumbha tomorrow, which is Aquarius, the water bearer, at least on the tropical in our thought process. Now on the Vedic, we'll still be in Makara, and we'll get into that tomorrow a little bit deeper when, we'll get there when we get there. Right now, we in Capricorn on all three levels, okay? Being disciplined, ambitious, practical, and patient. Capricorns are hardworking and value structure, stability, and success. They're often focused on long-term goals. The deity is Shani, which is Saturn. Again, discipline, hard work, material success, mirrors Capricorn's determined, responsible, and ambitious nature. Shani teaches lessons through patience and perseverance. So patience is key in this space and time with this energy. So get Mercury and Albalda are minimal angle today at 1:59 a.m. Mercury will be 2.6 degrees south, and no, this will not be visible. We know Mercury rules over the throat chakra, our space of communication, how we teach, how we learn, how we listen, how we speak, that space of equality, the energy exchanges, harvesting, is associated with Jabora on the Sephiros being a part of our solar plexus chakra, because we enforce things in our space with communication, right? So having our space of communication near Albalda is a star in the Sagittarius constellation, because to remind you guys, Mercury is over there in Capricorn in our thought process. You know what I'm saying? Giving us, how we're going to communicate and learn about the structures and the infrastructures of the things that we want to got going on or whatever. But then over there in the actual energy exchanges, our Mercury is in Sagittarius, giving us that expansion and that abundance. Now, what the star Albalda does is it pulls you to be more confident and courageous, taking more leadership into the things that you want into your space. Okay. So, you may have to speak up for some things that you want, some phone calls you got to make, some emails you got to send out. Take the initiative to sit here and learn about some things, that you want to do. Hey, Maurice, peace of God. Mercury is also at aphelion at 9 a.m. So aphelion is the furthest point from the sun. So it's going to be pretty dim, and that's why you can't see Mercury at this space and time. But since we're at aphelion today, you'll start to see Mercury get brighter and brighter for my sky watchers after this, period of time. The moon and Porrima are at minimal angle at 6:14 p.m. The moon will be 4.1 degrees south-southwest, conjunction at 8:55 p.m. The moon will be 4.5 degrees south, and we'll be able to observe that at 11:14 p.m. with a 5.2 degrees south-southeast separation. So Porrima is the star in the Virgo constellation, because remember, You know, mentally, we are in Libra. So we're thinking about that balance and fairness and this two energy that we're in. But in our energy exchanges, we're in Virgo. So we're in that space. Porrima is the star of prophecies. So, you know, you guys having, you know, utilizing your third eye when we're in the hour of the moon, utilize those hours to align with Porrima and have your prophecies foresee the things that you want into your space. You guys all have the gift of foresight. Or how are you using it? Are you using it to discourage yourself out of things? Are you using it to encourage yourself into things? You know, have those conversations with yourself. You deserve it. All right. Ursay Minorid meteor shower is active. That started on the 15th till the 25th, and the peak is today. And that meteor shower is between the Ursa Major and the Ursa Minor constellations. For my star watchers in the back, you want to catch those. And so that's it for the planetary forecast, what the planets are doing. So let's get into the calendar of the things. So this is the month of Tb on the ancient Kemetic calendar, and I'm going to read that off for some of you guys who are just coming in. And if I read it every day for 30 days, then we'll learn it by heart by the end of the month, right? Yeah, the power of repetition. We love it here. Again, in the ancient Kemetic calendar, we get 3 seasons. Each season gets 4 months. Each month gets 30 days, and each 30 days is divided into 10-day weeks, which we call decans. We are closing up the second decan of the month and about to walk into the third decan tomorrow into the 21st, right? And so this is the month during the season of Peret, which is the growing season. This goes from January to May. And if you think about what's happening in agriculture, because that's what the ancient Kemetic calendar was based upon, farming, you know, this is the time where we, you know, the soil starts to, you know, get looser or whatever as we enter the Aries energy, and then we get the rain, and then by the time we get to May, we got flowers. So this is like that cycle happening here. The ruling deity of this month is Isis, which is the goddess of fertility and magic, you know, which is really cool in this month of one, where everything is about the ketters, your knowledge, your auric body. So paying attention to how you communicate things and the action you take forth, and where your solar plexus chakra is, and how that affects your auric body and what you attract in your vortex. That's definitely a pattern you want to pay attention to right now. Characteristics in the beginning of the planting season, as the water levels recede, making the transition from inundation to growth is key here. Now, when we get into the the Hebrew calendar, we are in the month of Tevet. We are in the month of Tevet until January 29th, which is also the day of the Lunar New Year, which is when we experience our second new moon after the winter solstice. And that's how the Lunar New Year is calculated. Tevet means good. Tevet is a month of contemplation and reflection. It marks the siege of Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar, which was celebrated on the 10th of this month, and that leads to the eventual destruction of the first temple. Despite its association with hardship, it also holds the potential for spiritual growth and repentance. So the energy for this month of Tevet is hardship, reflection, and growth. All right, so that's what we have there. And then getting into my forecast slide. Give me a moment as that loads up. We are in the year of gold. This, you know, year of 2025, wisdom in our cipher, you know, wisdom in our power. You know, we're exercising our scales of Mayat, the 2 dealing with Taurus energy, what we prioritize, what we value, our facets of love and business is big. You know, paying attention to our heart chakra and our solar plexus chakra is big energy here. Okay, because 2 deals with heart chakra, whether you're dealing with the Taurus second house, or you're dealing with the Libra 2 scales, or you're dealing with, okay, we can deal with Jupiter of the 2 and Chokma, which is the wisdom, the exercising of our intellect. And then you're dealing with the 5, which is the celestial enforcer in the Kabbalah, your solar plexus chakra. And then 5 also deals with Leo energy, which is your confidence and your courageousness, still dealing with that solar plexus chakra type vibe. Fire is here. So, you know, heavy fire, you know, or earth and air if you're dealing with the, you know, the Venusian energy of 2. But if you're dealing with the Chokma energy, you're dealing with Jupiter, and we know Jupiter is fire. So overall, this is a big fire year. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that happening outside. You know, lots of fires going on. Pisces is also associated with 2. This is the scales of Mayat. We know Pisces is, dead on winter. That's the middle of winter. You know what I'm saying? We're in winter. So that's where you see like the balance between like half frozen, half on fire type situation happening right now. That's big on the year that we're in. We're also in the year of gold. Hey, Eric. This is the year of being passionate, interesting, and faithful people, attracting many people, being generous, kindness, and long-lasting relationships. Love of luxuries and spending money, ambition, and willpower is heavy here in the year of gold. Last year we dealt with a lot of flooding, a lot of changes in the currencies, whether it's water, the maritime law, what I'm saying, actual like money currencies, all of that was happening, a lot of storms happening, hurricanes happening, because we were heavy in that energy of Mayat with the 2024 bringing us to 8, all water energies, right? All, goes to the Piscean, 2 being the heart chakra. So now we're in the space of the fire, doing with the 2s and the 5. Okay. So it's also the year of Jubilee, you know what I'm saying? Also to remind you guys, on the Kemetic calendar, we are in the energy of Amun Ra. We started on the 18th and we're here to the 21st of the month. The Amun Ra is the king of God. So being confident, polite, optimistic, great leaders and control is heavy energy here. I believe the 21st is on Tuesday. So that's the day when, they have the omen. The inauguration is another word for omen. So that's a big omen day that we're closing out on the last day of Amun Ra. It's all intentional. And then the very next day on 122, when we're on that day of Master Architect, we'll be in the energy of Mut. And we know Mut is the cosmos. Greetings, goddess of love. Peace, God. As far as coming back into the horoscope, the West African horoscope is the baobab tree. This is from January 4th to February 3rd. Being firm, stable, strong, and invincible, having the resources to conquer, resist, or resilient, self-confidence, integrity, honesty, reflection, and cleverness. Living a well-structured and prosperous life are all keys here. In the Native American horoscope, we are in the energy of the snow goose, the turtle clan, which is water energy, being self-confident and teaching those around us, finding balance and adapting to our environment, and then needing to find integrity to boost our self-esteem is a key here. Now, we are still in the energy of the wood dragon. We do not exit the wood dragon until January 29th. Again, that is the Lunar New Year. And it's also a day of mastery. It's into 9/11. We love it here. Okay. We get 3 ones. We get 11 in the month of 1, in the year 9, 11119. It's fun there. But power, luck, making good use of our environment, and having the intuitive sense of timing so success will not be difficult to obtain. And when we get to January 29th, we'll be in the year of the wood snake. And so use this last, especially these last few hours of having our sun in Capricorn on all 3 levels to really plan out what you're trying to do, because the year of the wood snake is going to help you with your abundance and achieving the things that you want with those plans that you create in this heavy Capricorn energy right now. And just remember, the sun just entered Capricorn constellation. So we're still in Capricorn constellation until about like February, 17th. So, give yourself grace in your energy exchanges, because while our mind is going to be on that air Aquarius all over the place and being really fast, time is still going to be moving slow in our energy exchanges. Okay. So that's that for that. So getting into the week, we talked about Amun Ra already, and we can go into Yom Rishon, which is the Hebrew day of the week. Okay. And this is the first day, which is Sunday. Okay. Sunday marks the first day of creation when God created light. And this is from Genesis 1:1-5. This is a day of new beginnings and renewal. In Jewish tradition, the first day of the week is seen as the start of creation, symbolizing hope, creativity, and the potential to begin anew. New beginnings, light, and creation. That's the big energy on the first day. In the Hindu calendar, we're in the day of Ravivar. Lord Surya is the deity, the sun. So again, with the Hindu calendar, we're coming back into the sun energy, all about our experiences, our external self, all that fun stuff. Characteristics. Lord Surya is the source of light, vitality, health, and strength. He represents the self, soul, and life force. Sun worship is integral to Hinduism, and Surya is considered to be a symbol of truth, wisdom, and good health. Associated activities. Sundays are considered auspicious for offering prayers to Lord Surya to strengthen one's health, gain success, and seek vitality. And reciting the Surya Gayatri mantra or perform the Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, is a common practice. And we move in gratitude for the sun. Ashe. Ashe. So getting back into the forecast page, we're in the day of the third eye, being the day of the sun, and the sun rules over the external side of the third eye. So it is our experiences, our external self. The third eye is ajna, which means command beyond wisdom. It's located between the eyebrows. It deals with polarity between Sunday and Monday. You know what I mean? The third eye chakra is the only chakra that's ruled by 2 celestial bodies, whereas all the other chakras we have is only ruled by 1. So this is the heaviest chakra we have. This is also the bridgeway between our physical self, our lower physical chakras. And then when we get into the crown chakra is not ruled by any celestial bodies or has any physical association, because that's when we get into the Ketters, the one, which is where we were at yesterday, because yesterday was a day of one. We were all up in the Ketters. So today we're, coming down into, the third eye energy. But then, yesterday was also the Sabbath, which is Saturn, which is the root chakra. It's all intertwined if you're listening to me. Okay. But yeah, so we're dealing with the outer self today. Mind energy center, foresight, being creative, being logical and rational is big here. The light element, F note for my musicians is AMA sound, 852 hertz. If you want to wear the colors of today, is 490 to 450 nm. Hrim for the sun, HRIM. That is the sound for today. We are in this energy of Heru, which is also associated with Odamila, Leo energy. This is the will, courage, discipline of the upper and lower self. Okay. So I know we have that mindset, I want to kill my lower self. You're not supposed to kill anything. You're not supposed to kill your ego. You're not supposed to kill your lower self. You're supposed to learn how to blend the two. You have both of them for a reason. There is no good or bad. It's harmony. It's the Libra scales. It's the balance. That's why self-mastery is a big key for today. Learn how to have that balance of the internal, external self. Learn how to have that balance between your spiritual and your mental, or your spiritual and your physical self. Learn how to have that balance between what you think is good and what you think is bad. Okay. We're dealing with the 6th Sephiroth here, which is the Tiphareth, which is the middle ground. Tiphareth is the only Sephiroth that we have that touches all of our other Sephiroths. If you ever seen that figure of the body with the Merkaba and all the spots on the body, you will notice that the Tiphareth is the one that's connected to all of them. No matter which one you go, it'll all bring you here. Okay, so this is the middle ground. This is the balance. This tells you that Chesed or mercy is just as important as Jadula, which is discipline and limitation. You know what I'm saying? This will tell you that, your upper three, upper 3 Sephiroths of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is just as important as your bottom 3, as your celestial enforcer, technician, labeler, and giving birth. Okay. So maintain through the coordination and balance, celestial government administration is here. So saying things with all thy heart is a big key. Be mindful of your emotional state when you're saying things with all that. Be mindful of your tongue when you are in a high emotional state. And that's a big thing for self-mastery, because when we get too far in our emotions, even when I'm angry, I'm getting better at yelling. I'm still going to yell, what I'm saying? But I'm getting better at what I say when I'm yelling. What I'm saying? That way, when people be saying what they want to say, whatever, like, nah, rewind it back. You may not have liked my tone or whatever, because I had to get those sound waves out or whatever. But listen to what I actually said. I didn't say nothing crazy. I'm very intentional with my lyricism. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the energy for today, is the third eye energy. Okay. So we done went over today's mathematics. We done went over the gematria. We went over the astrological astronomical report. We done went over the ancient Kemetic, the Hebrew, and the Hindu calendar. We done went over the horoscopes for West Africa, Native America, Chinese, and alchemists. Okay, so now pull out your pens and your paper, whatever it is that y'all utilize, because we're about to get ready for the planetary hours. I want you guys to write down the planetary hours. you know. And again, you can align these planetary hours to your personal planets. Let me know when y'all ready, or I'll let y'all know when I'm ready. I gotta, you know, wait for my page to load when we get to the planetary hours. And we do this every day, y'all. I guess I'll be doing this on Facebook since they closed me down on TikTok. um, there we go. I'm like, where is it? I lose it every time. I always lose it. My eyeballs lose it. All right. So, y'all ready? Y'all got what y'all need so y'all can write down the planetary hours? It's fun here. We love it here. Okay, cool. So, we're going to start off with the hours of the sun, which we just finished the first hour of the sun. The hours of the sun is from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 a.m., hey Doug, to 8 a.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We are in the hours of the sun. Now, this is the sun represents the vitality, the creativity, and self-expression. We know that the sun is on Capricorn on the tropical, Vedic, and Draconic. So those are good hours to deal with that hardworking energy, the long-term goals, finding infrastructure, the authority of self, all that fun stuff. You know, the sun is all about starting new ventures, leadership, and activities that require confidence. So those are the hours of the sun. Now, we have just entered the hour of Venus. We're in Venus from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay. The hours of Venus are really good for love, beauty, and harmony, activities involving relationships, beauty, art, and relaxation. This is a good time for romantic activities and aesthetic work for my creatives in the back. And to remind you guys, Venus is over there in Pisces. It is sitting in Pisces with Saturn giving us that infrastructure. So right now your heart chakra is on, you know, visualizing what it is that you want in your space. Pay attention to how you feel in alignment with your visualizations. Some of you guys are visualizing things that are not in alignment with your heart chakra. That is not really what you want. That's what you've been indoctrinated. That's what you've been taught to stand under, to have. And that's why Venus and Saturn are really close to each other right now to show you, hey, what do you want versus what you're standing under? Okay. Or what do you desire, or what do you believe you deserve? What's beautiful to you versus what you're choosing to stand under? Some of those things are not in alignment. And so that's why you have all this confusion and back and forth in your vortex. So be mindful of that. We have Neptune over there in Pisces too. So a lot of this stuff is coming to your dreams, meditative state, anything beneath the horizon in this realm of things. So be mindful of that. In the happenings, the energy exchanges, Venus is still over there in Aquarius. So it's attracting the society, the power to be one with all. It's attracting the knowledge, the intellect, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you're imagining in your space. So like, say I'm imagining like, oh, you know, y'all know I want an RV. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm trying to like, you know, lower my expense. I really want an RV. I'd rather just pay to live in an RV lot or whatever than to do like the, you know, the regular like rental thing and stuff like that. Like I'm cool with downsizing. I feel comfortable doing that. And so what am I attracting? I'm attracting, you know, the society, you know, the different groups, the electronic communication, my phone, my cellular device. Cellular is an extension of me. It's in my aura. You know what I'm saying? It's giving me like that information, the ketters, the Aquarius energy. You know, this is how you do it. I heard you talking over there in your head. And so I wanted to show you some of these things on your social media site based upon what I heard you say in your head, or the couple words I heard you say out loud or in your conversations or whatever, what have you. All right. So that's all Venusian energy. This is happening in the 5th house, which is the house of Leo. So being confident and courageous in what you are, you know, visualizing in your space. Because a lot of you guys want to do things that's never been done before, but you don't fully believe in yourself to do it. And that's holding you back. Okay. Do it to your vision to recognize the process. The process reveals the skill set. If it's not to your vision, the vision needs not to be altered. The skill should be pursued. Right. And that's how we bring the practicality to the visualization. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how we make it into the physical. We love it here. So then the hours of Mercury is from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then 11 p.m. to midnight. You know, of course, we start the moon day. These hours are great for communication. If you want to write, some light traveling happening here. Invocation, because Mercury is Eshwa, is Shu energy. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with the throat chakra heavy here. Right now, to remind you guys, Mercury is sitting over there in Capricorn. We do have Mercury at aphelion, so it's far away from the sun's experiences. Mercury is sitting over there, communicating, learning and teaching, just like Doug is saying. Recognizing the process, because Mercury deals with Sebek, which is the celestial technicians, breaking things down and compartmentalizing them so you can see the infrastructure and the step to the things. Mercury is in Sagittarius on the energy exchange route. So while you're thinking on the Capricorn, the hard work, the discipline, the long-term goals of things, what's happening in your energy exchange is that you're invoking that energy of birth, giving born to something, gaining the wisdom. Coming back to the example that I gave with the cellular device, getting that intellect on what it is you want to create in your space. Then we get into the hours of the moon. Okay, the moon hours are at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then at midnight, we start the moon day on the moon. And to remind you guys, the moon is over there in Libra in our mindset. We actually start the day off at a 0 degree in Libra, so it's a very easy degree. It's all about balance and justice, one-on-one interpersonal relationship, how balanced you are. It's going to be real easy to get that equal opposite energy today, especially because in the Vedic chart as well as Draconic, so today is going to be a heavy spiritual experience for you guys having the Vedic and Draconic chart aligned in Virgo energy. Okay, which is the energy of Sebek, harvest, the celestial technicians, invocation of things in your space. So please, please, please be mindful of the things that you speak into existence with all thy mind and all thy heart, right? Saturn. Saturn is the hours of 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's all Saturn hours. Now, Saturn is when you do focus on those long-term goals, the discipline and the structure and the limitations that's required, planning, serious reflection, so serious. And to remind you guys, Saturn is over there in Pisces in our mindset, providing that infrastructure to the things we're visualizing. In our energy exchanges, Saturn is providing that hard work, and all the focus and seriousness to our Aquarius energy. So it's the society, the electronic communication, popping in and seeing Sunshine Monie, giving you guys the structure to the things, all of that is in alignment with the energy exchanges. And that's happening in the 5th house, which is really funny because this is definitely my Draconic return. My Saturn is in Pisces in the 5th house, in my inner child. So going to that inner child energy, well, did you imagine, like some of you guys going to go back to your inner child and think about, like, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was your authority? What are some of the things that you dealt with? So what are some of the things that you've been taught to believe and flow into? Stuff like that. And are those things still serve you today to keep into your space today that you want to give life to? Conversations like that is pretty cool. And it is going to change that Saturn Aquarius, because some people got to go away as you start to defeat some of those, Saturn, Pisces, 5th house placements, right? Jupiter, the hours of Jupiter, we're there from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this also deals with long-term planning. But now we're getting into the space of growth and studying and expanding. Whereas when we were in the hours of Saturn, it was like, what hard work, discipline, limitations, and infrastructure. That's kind of like when you're like showing, like thinking about all the things that could go wrong. And then Jupiter is giving you the solutions, or this is what you should learn about, or this is what you should practice, since you know what could go wrong or what challenges could come, right? So Jupiter is more like, yeah, no. Jupiter is in Gemini. It's at an 11 degree too. So it's at that degree of mastery in Gemini, which is the internal side of the throat chakra. So it's all about that thought process, how focused you are in that thought process. You got to be careful with that, because Jupiter is fire while Gemini is air, and Gemini can make Jupiter expand a little further than need be sometimes. But being focused is definitely the key here, and we love to be focused, right? Also, community is heavy here, and it's like familial community, or like community of like people you grew up with, people in your tri-city area. Hold on a second, y'all, because I gotta put you on the charger. There we go. Yeah, the community in your area, how you communicate, your sense of flexibility, being more optimistic. Be careful with that, because we talked about that in the lunar mansion, that some of you guys are very optimistic about your flexibility and putting entirely too much stuff on your plate. While Jupiter is over there in our mindset, giving us all these different possibilities and different people we could talk to and who our target communities are in. This is all happening in the 8th house, reminding you Jupiter is also in retrograde. So it's slowed down in the space too. It's giving us that empowerment, transformations happening there. In our energy exchanges, Jupiter is over there in Taurus, giving us that, expansion and optimism in that space of love, the facets of love, places of business and stuff like that. And, our, power over that with the 8th house energy. Now, Mars hours are from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and then 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, Mars deals with like assertion, the physical activities. You might want to work out during these hours. I don't know, whatever you want to. Dealing with your solar plexus chakra is heavy here. The gut that controls the mind, and everything starts with the thought. It's probably a good hour to fast, clear your gut out, stuff like that. Listen to your gut at this period of time. You know what I'm saying? But definitely combating obstacles and strengthening your willpower is heavy here in the hour of Mars. And just to remind you guys, Mars is over there in Cancer on the tropical and on the Vedic chart. I believe we're going to have Mars going back into Gemini constellation real soon. At the rate that it's moving. Yeah, Gemini constellation will be back on 122 on the 22nd. That's the master architect, is when Mars will be reroute back in Gemini. So it'll be out of that debilitated energy in the energy exchanges. My Mars is in Gemini. We love it here. I'm gonna be everywhere. So no. But yeah, that's what we have happening there. But right now it's like, more so nurturing and finding a sense of compassion about the things that motivate you and keep you going and stuff like that. Thank you for your time and blessing us with quantum physics and quantum. I do my best. I love quantum physics. I think this is really fun here. And, I love it here. So that's what we have in the planetary hours, because then we come back into the hour of the sun. I just gave you guys all the hours and the placement. So now we're going to get into the collective reading so I can close you guys out. You ready? On this beautiful day of mastery, we love it here. My fire babies. Mastery of self for you guys is mastering how you guys react to other people, places, things, situations, and ideas outside of yourself. Especially in your interpersonal relationships today, focus on those that are triggering to you. This is where every fire is at in your chart. Like, I'll give you an example. In my space, I'm a Leo rising. My fire is in my aura. How is my aura responding to other people, places, things, situations around me? Is it in harmony? Is it my truth? Am I being a liar? Am I pretending to be cool with you? I really don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Where else is my Jupiter is in Leo too. My sense of expansion is in alignment. My South Node is also in Leo. So this is, where my fire energy. I think Leo is the only fire energy I have. Oh, my Lilith is in Sagittarius. I don't have any Aries energy, y'all. Sorry. My Lilith is in Sagittarius, so dealing with that dark side of myself and that expansion and abundance and joy that I don't allow myself to have because I'm a Capricorn stellium, Virgo stellium horse. But I'm working on it. I think once I finally get my Capricorn in order, I will allow myself to feel joy. But right now I am not there. Do you know of Rahu? Rahu is the North Node. My North Node is in Aquarius. Where's your Rahu? But yeah, so that's for the fire babies. Just paying attention to your reaction, the amount of fire you give in your interpersonal relationships. Not everything deserves that level of passion that you're willing to give it. Not everyone deserves that level of passion. And that's not to like take away from that person or that situation or make it seem less than. It's more so like just not everything needs all of that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes just like dial it back. You got these big ass grandiose expectations that something's going to be like this big thing. And it's really not. It's so simple, and you're making it big in your mind, and that sometimes stagnates you, fire babies, because you make these things so big in your mind, and you want to have big energy all the time. Relax. And this is wherever fire is in your chart. Okay. So for my usually I pull like separate cards for each of the things. I haven't been feeling that lately, but maybe eventually I will, but lately I have not been feeling Um, for my air, you guys, as far as the self mastery goes, is like mastering your intellect. You know, you guys have intellect on a plethora of things, and this is wherever air is in your chart. Whether you are a Libra, always thinking about one side or the other, you're Gemini, you're thinking about, you know, a bunch of little things at one time, or you're Aquarius and you're always thinking about the whole wide world. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this shit. But you guys, you know, hone in, have some sense of focus. You know, be a master of one, dibble dabble in some, and that's okay. Like I told y'all, my Mars is in Gemini, so like, you know, it be times where I'm sitting here trying to, like earlier, I'm streaming, I want to write music, and I'm be doing my planetary forecast notes. There's no way I could write music and do my planetary forecast notes because I have to use my hand. I only have one writing hand, and then my brain, like I'm write lyrics and my, like it's a whole thing. You know, sometimes I have to tell my Mars and Gemini to be like, all right, chill, bro, order of operations. Let's get it together. We're trying to do this not realistic. Okay. I'm gonna get to Earth in a minute, my love. So, you know, that's it there. Just having a sense of focus, you know, learning how to do one thing at a time. You know, your intellect is amazing. You guys are very smart people. We love to hear. My what is that? My Vesta is in Gemini. I'm very passionate about intellect, sharing intellect with you guys. I love it here. And so, you know, just having those kind of mindsets, you know, especially with like Jupiter in Gemini, is there to expand you. The moon is in Libra. So being intuitive about the air energy. Lilith is also in Libra. So not only do we have the moon, but we got the dark side of the moon over there in Libra energy too. So we have, you know, both sides, the mother Eve and Lilith are both over there in Libra. So expressing both sides of feminine energy and embracing both sides of that feminine energy is really dope for you guys. For my air babies, because you guys have both. It's not always love and light. Sometimes it's darkness, and you know, and having both. You know, my yacht has to punish as well too. You know, that's why the scales of my yacht have Babalao and the alligator that devours the heart. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's for y'all. You know, learning how to focus, hone in on things. As for Earth goes, Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You know, Taurus is like the most fixed energy. It's the that is the slowest energy we have because it's fixed Earth. Um, so, you know, usually when we're in tour season, it's so long. Jesus Christ, so long, so slow. Especially if you guys are waiting for the summertime and the groundhog doesn't see your shadow. It's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so for my Earth babies in the space of mastery, it's like, you know, we know that you guys are very grounded, but be mindful of that grounded to a sense of stubbornness. Be mindful of the rigidity of this space. We're in a day of two where, you know, and being two, it deals with interpersonal relationships, give and receive, give and take, you know. And so having in that mindset of give and take, you have to get out of your rigidity because you have to be open to reception. So in order to be open to reception, you have to be open to what other people have to offer. You know, it's not always about you and what you have to offer and what you have to give and blah 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 blah. So be open to, you know, a sense of changing, especially if you're around a lot of water energy or you're around a lot of air energy that wants to help you with that intellect. And also, you know, I know you provide to these spaces. Like, I give all y'all stability. If it wasn't for me, y'all all would be all over the place. And that's very true. But without air, water, and fire, you would have the sharpest edges. You would be so rigid. Water smooths you out. You know what I'm saying? Air, you know, also smooths you out in a sense. You know, fire reshapes you, you know, when fire gets to a certain level of heat. You know what I'm saying? And those are different things that you need. So allow this space of mastery, allow yourself to be open to reception of the other energies around you while also still remaining your grounding. But y'all need to be a little bit more adaptable. I think that because you're so fixated on having like one direction to your destination, you are closing your eyes to all the other directions that you can go in that are just as successful. So allow those other energies around you to open your eyes up to that. Now last, but I did fire, I did air. Oh, water, excuse me. Water, wherever wherever Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio is in your chart. For you guys in this energy of mastery, is learning to master your intuition. Now, I've been talking about this a lot with you guys lately, as far as how you guys go inward. And, you know, you guys are very intuitive people, but you're also very secret. whether you're the energy of Olukun, the deepest of the waters. Olukun did not like anything that was going on, to the point where like Olukun or Ogun got into a war about it, and Olukun had to get, strapped down to the bottom of the ocean, bringing that sense of isolation. And I don't want to be around anybody anyway. Then you have, Cancer energy, your Moja, which is the crab, underneath the shell, you know what I'm saying? Or you have, the energy of Scorpius was, again, hiding behind the stinger and the claws, you know what I'm saying? So, I get it. That feminine energy is very mysterious. When you think about the body parts of a woman, that is, very mysterious. All of our body parts are inside instead of hanging outside of us. Emotions are more internal, until we express them on the outside, until we bring them out into the sun, till the light, sheds upon them. So, I get that this is naturally a very mysterious energy. And for some of you guys, yeah, y'all need to learn how to master that mysteriousness, because some of y'all be spilling y'all emotions all over the place. But you know what side of the spectrum that you're on with that energy, whether you are the Pisces fish going up or down, the Cancer, the 6 or the 9, or the Scorpio energy, being that, the Scorpio energy. I don't know. Y'all don't really have much of a duality with y'all. Everybody else had a duality. I was trying to think of one with y'all, but I'm like, I don't know. Y'all mysterious. And, you have that balance between going inward and being feminine, but also allowing yourself to have experiences. Okay. And this is important on this day of 2, or this day of 11, like mastering yourself so well, realizing that you do influence and inspire people, and people do need to be around your energy. Earth energy needs you guys. You guys go around Earth and you guys smooth out that rigidity with your emotions, with your intuition, with your insight or whatever. Air needs you to slow them down a little bit and cool them out. So does fire. So you guys have something to provide, but you're not going to really like master that superpower if you're going inward all the time and you're keeping it away from everybody. And this is wherever water is in your chart. Express those things. Let people know. I'll give you an example. I don't really have water in my chart. I got my Pluto and Scorpio. So I guess learning how to express my powerful self, my sensual, sexual self for probably, but I don't want to. I'm very private about that part of myself. I'm working on it. My Chiron is in Cancer. So, home and family, my mothering, nurturing energy and stuff like that is in Cancer. So another thing I don't want to put out, but I got to work on that, because I just did the reading for y'all. I did it for me too. I never sit at a podium. I'm always at a round table with you guys. So let me pull these cards out so I can let y'all go, because I know it's getting late and y'all like, all right, get on. So we're going to get on a 1, 2, 3. We in an hour 1, 2, 3, y'all, on this day of mastery. Ashe? Boo, boo, boo. Hey, Jose, what's up with you? Guardian on the 55. 55 on 11 is really fun here. Okay, 5. Paying attention to your Rahu. Hey, Doug, you brought that up. The North Node. That's the North Node, right? Yeah. No. The upside down. Oh, this is South Node. So paying attention to the South Node and Pluto. So the South Node is your comfort self, where we come from. Right now, mentally, that's in Libra, at the 0 degree Libra, which is in divine alignment with the Draconic chart, which is always Aries, Libra. And, on the Vedic scales, I believe it's in Virgo, Pisces. But yeah, so where we're coming from, our comfortable self and that balance, harmony, and justice. Pluto is sitting over there in Aquarius, providing transformations to society while still creating transformations in our authoritative self on the Vedic chart, which is our happenings. Okay. So, expect transformations in your comfort zone. Expect transformations happening in your bonds and contracts, interpersonal relationships. On that too, we are in a day 2. Some of you guys are going to be experiencing, these things. But the guardian energy, Palo Santo, is the, is the stick. It is the stick, but that is the herb, for the day, channeling the spirits, being in that air energy, which is really cool because, both of those placements are in air, whether it's, Pluto and Aquarius air with society and empires, or the South Node, our comfort self in those justice scales, both in the swords of intellect. We love it here. So channeling the spirits is, definitely a nice key for today, and expecting those transformations and empowerment. Pluto also deals with empowerment, spaces of business. Oya rules over the business, the marketplace, and the witches, elders. Ooh, the devil card. Yeah. So, some people are getting their sentences today. People who have ill intentions in your space, I think you guys already know who they are. But in this space of mastery, as you master yourself, as you start to speak in more confidence and courageousness and stuff like that, the devil card can't win. We're shedding light on the devil. You see how he's coming out, you know what I'm saying? Like down here, he's more sly. You know what I'm saying? He's more hidden, because calm, cool, and collected. But over here is like, he comes out, you know what I'm saying? So we're shedding light on that energy, and if you are the devil, be mindful of your intentions in the different spaces, but transformations and in that space of justice is definitely key here. And you deserve it. You deserve it. And then I like how they had people bound in the middle to the pinnacles, bound to the physical, you know what I'm saying, of the things. So, no longer being bound. Is there a perpendicularity or relationship from devil to Rahu? Well, sometimes, yeah, I guess you could say that, because Rahu is our comfort zone. And, they say Rahu was like the coiled serpent, you know what I'm saying? So I guess if you want to demonize the serpent, the Kundalini itself, you can do that. Certain religions and practices do that. I personally do not. But as far as like, some people's comfort zones, okay, so let's talk about it. Like Rahu right now is in the Libra scales, right? We know the Libra scales have not been even for a very long time. This justice system fucking sucks. The bonds and the contracts that we have with this government, these corporations, and all these things, they're not righteous. Nobody has been moving in my yacht. We haven't been in the energy in my yacht in a very, very long time, right? So that has become a comfort zone to the point where we make jokes about it. Like we're very comfortable with this lack of imbalance in our bonds and our contracts, and the lack of law, justice, and truth. You know what I'm saying? So like the devil card could be, is, a correlation to our comfort with these devils, with these people that have, these ill intentions. And in our space of being comfortable with them, we also kind of embrace the devil in ourselves, because we're like, oh, I'm just doing my job. Oh, I got to chase this money. I'm allowed to have a bad attitude towards you because I'm having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? I'm allowed to treat you any kind of way. I'm allowed to tell you what you deserve because you work at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like we don't want to take responsibility for the things that we create in our space. But hopefully on this day of mastery, this day of 2, we move to taking responsibility that we do create this negativity, this devil energy in our space. We keep it alive. It's the same thing on the internet. And I read about this in The Secret, right? We love chaos. We love drama. And because we love chaos and drama, that's all we see on the algorithms, to the point where people are lying and creating false scenarios, even celebrities creating false marriages and relationships and pretending certain people are their children and having false breakups and stuff, so that we'll keep clicking on their page. We'll keep giving them attention. You know what I'm saying? Because people low-key love to hear about people's downfalls. People low-key, like people are still talking about Chris Brown's incident, and that was like what, like 20 years, 15 years ago? Like come on now. Like that's how addicted people are to negativity though. Like I couldn't imagine people still bringing up shit I did when I was 15. I'm 34. That was 24 years ago. Grow up. That was like 20 years ago. Like, please don't do that, but that's what people are addicted to. I'm never going to let this go, because I love having this negative mindset of people, places, things, situations, because it makes me feel better. Now, how much in alignment with my yacht is that? It's not. It's you trying to have this callous heart perspective and then getting upset because you live in a calloused heart reality, to where there's this one secretive 1% that's out to get you, and they're trying to kill you, and they hate you, and da 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 da, and you're just laying on your back on your knees like a good slave, and rah, 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 rah. Like that's the reality you live in, because that's what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's the perpendicular. To an extent, that may be our preservation of sanity. Yeah, I guess it could be a sense of, you know what it is, because when we touch the fire, we'll remember that the fire is hot. more than we'll remember that water is cold, unless the water was so cold that it traumatized us to an extent. You know what I'm saying? We do remember bad way more, and that is a survival instinct to our animal self. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't have to be a survival instinct to our energetic self. We are a spiritual being having a physical experience. So let the vessel remember what the vessel needs to do for preservation. Cool. I'm glad that my vessel remembers certain things for preservation to give me that fight or flight response. We need our egos. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Katrina. In the same breath, be mindful that you're an energy first. And that is not how you preserve your energy. That's just how you preserve your body. I hope that made sense. It made sense when it was coming out of my mouth. I don't know. Doug, you bring up good points. I like you. Bliss, sis. Peace to the goddess. In addition to that, we have the reverse Queen of Wands. So we're not really acting on things today. It's not so much as like honing on our actions as it is like, you know, just mastering self, mastering, you know, that too, that wisdom. Wisdom is a non-physical energy. You know, two is, you know, dealing with the heart chakra of the things, your emotions, your feelings, your vibration, Venusian vibration. That's the fours, your sense of stability, being stable and firm, you know, and something that comes in waves or whatever. So being the homeostasis in the middle. Hey, amazing. That is the key here. So, you know, if you're not feeling, you know, very active, especially for my fire, pulling that reverse Queen of Wands, that's okay. That's okay. Remember, Mars is still in retrograde, sitting over there in Cancer. You know, we're cool. We're chilling. We like it here, okay? I have a rule for my people over there and meet me. When you come in, I just ask that you could just say hello. You could send me a waving emoji, whatever, what have you. You know, say hi. Doesn't hurt. We have Bina, which is 3 of Cups. So our understanding of our emotional. So basically, like the whole tangent I just went on about your physical body, our physical body and our emotional self, and remembering that we are a spiritual being first. And so stand under your spiritual self, you know, more so than you stand under your physical body. The physical body does what it has to do. A lot of the physical actions and reactions to things is autonomous. We don't even really have to think about a lot of the stuff that our body physically already does. The only time you mess yourself up is when you allow your spiritual self to reprogram your physical self to do something destructive. You know what I'm saying? Holding your breath. You have to think about holding your breath to hold your breath. You know what I'm saying? You got to think sad thoughts for your body to shut down. You have to think that I'm sick, I'm bad, I'm da-da-da, for your body to react to that and do stuff. Outside of you programming your mind to do weird stuff or, you know, stuff that's destructive to your body wants to survive. Your body wants to live automatically. You don't have to tell your body to breathe. You don't have to tell your heart to pump. You don't have to tell your cells to undergo the different cycles that they have to undergo to keep creating tissues. And you don't have to tell your immune system to do any of these things. You don't have to do any of that. Your body automatically does it for you. It's a vessel. It's an automatic vessel at that. It's really dope when you think about it, because it's not even really here for real. I'm not really here for real, but it's automatically doing everything I need to do until my mind or my spiritual self tells it to stop or says, oh, we're sick or we're sad or we're angry. And then my body will react to that instead. So standing under and having a sense of like your intuition, you know, that's the 3 of Bina. Also Mercury and Cancer, that communication on your third eye, that connection to your physical and non-physical self. You're the one that's in charge of that. So some of you guys need to master that. You guys are claiming some crazy things to your body. I'm sick. I'm ill. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. You know, all these different things. And you're attaching it to your vessel and you're making it so. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why your body is failing you or it's working against you. And it's because look at what you're programming your body to do. Some of you guys look in the mirror and talk about all the ways you don't like your body. You think your body is going to keep trying, like keeping up if you're saying these crazy things to your body? No. It's the same thing like when I'm in a car, you know, when I had a car And I'm like in my car, I know not to say no nut shit when I'm in my car. My car can hear me. I be like, we gonna speak love into my car, because the moment I say something crazy, like, dang, my car about to break down, or da da da, guess what? My car gonna break down. It hears me. Like, oh wait, you talking shit? You about to replace me with another car? Hold on. I'm not starting tomorrow. You fucked up. Your body is a car. Your body is a vehicle for your spirit. So like, keep that in mind when you speaking crazy, okay? All right, so now we're going to focus on our chakra that we're going to, be of mastery today. Confusion. Are we confused in our crown chakra? And then I like this because this is also, okay, for those of you newbies in here, I am Diana Ross and my cards are the Supremes. They just repeat what I said. But you see how this is the non-physical and the physical self? The body automatically wants to do what you want it to do. You know what I'm saying? This is the vessel. It's the automatic force. It's you. You see how you're swarming around it? You're giving it the things, you're speaking into it. You're telling it. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want your body to do certain things, stop telling your body certain things are in existence. You know what I'm saying? Change what you put in your vortex. We just got done reading The Secret, and now we're reading the Buddhist mind. So not only are we learning how to channel things in our space, but now we're learning the kind of mindset and how to carry ourselves when we are channeling things. I'm very intentional with the books I read. And sometimes it's not even deliberate. Sometimes spirit is just, says, hey, read this book next, and so it just flows, and that's cool because this is our third book in 2025. Yeah, we read 3 books together already. Ain't that fun? We love it here. So I'm gonna close y'all out with this divination card. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Remember, we're here every night. Sometimes I'm here at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I wanted to get done early today, though, because I actually want to sit up and write some music. I've been, dragging with the EP I want to work on, and I want to finish my book as well. I know my Mars and Gemini is like, chill, one thing at a time. So we're just going to focus on the music. At least get one song done tonight. Loyalty. I need you guys to have more loyalty to your vessel, in a sense of, you're a spiritual being first, and how you treat your vessel as a result of how your vessel is treating you back. And then having a sense of like awareness to your external experience is a big one here too. This is a number of 7-1. 7, coming back to those Libra scales: balance, justice, harmony, law, truth. 1 being that intellect, the Ogun, the gut that controls the mind. Everything starts with the thought. That brings us to 8, transformation. So when you're focused on balancing those Libra scales, when you're taking the intellect on that, when you're taking the action to make sure that they're balanced, when you're learning about, when you're taking the initiative on the spiritual knowledge and stuff like that, of course it's going to build and destroy things in your space. Like when I wanted to be healthier. I became vegan. But when I became vegan, I became healthier and I started eating light. I couldn't drink alcohol anymore because it sits in my body way different than it sat in my body when I was eating fast food and I was eating all these heavy meats and stuff like that. So when I made that transformation in my space, it triggered a lot of people that I had in my life, friends that like to go out and drink with me. I don't want to drink anymore. I want to eat better. I want to have a healthier life. I want to feel better about myself when I get up. Those friends, it turned into combative, shade being thrown, mean jokes. Like, why does it bother you guys so much? I don't want to drink. But once I started having I want more, reciprocation and appreciation and respect for the choices that I'm trying to make with myself, those friends had to go away. None of them exist in my space anymore. Okay. They just don't. And I don't feel any type of way about it because it's been like 10 years now. I'm cool now, you know what I'm saying? But that was just a story I wanted to share with y'all. So overall, we're paying attention to our South Node, which right now is in between Libra and Virgo, more so in the Libra energy. It's literally right on top of the moon right now because it's at a 0 degree. Hey, Lion. So having that intuitive space of what we're comfortable with the Libra scales on this day of mastery, this day of 2, and then transformations and empowerment with that Pluto sitting over there and the supporting element of Aquarius because they're both air energies. So transformation and empowerment happening to your intellectual space, to who you socialize with, your bonds and your contracts in this space, right? Channeling the guardian, paying attention more so to your inner spirit. You see how this is touching the third eye of the wolf down here? You know what I'm saying? The connection between the non-physical and the physical. You know, that's big on what we're doing. The devil card, you know, there's some energy out there that don't have good intentions. And we know this. We're in the space of the Libra scales, finding balance and justice and truth in the things. We don't got time for this no more. If you find yourself emulating that callous in your heart, you can't be upset that there's this 1% in your reality that makes you feel small. You can't be upset that, oh, the court system got their foot on my neck. Oh, this is happening. These niggas is looking at me crazy. The women are out for me, blah, 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 blah. Because look at what you are, cheering on. Look at what you're accepting. Look at what you're justifying. You know what I'm saying? It starts with you. The sooner people start taking responsibility for the reality we collectively live in, the better. There's a reason why Pluto is in Aquarius Capricorn right now. It's making that pendulum swing, and who has the power in society, in the thought process of a society on an auric level, and who has power in the infrastructure and the authority of society. For far too long, we've been giving this energy authority of ourselves, how we think and how we talk to each other and how we talk to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to let this go. You know what I'm saying? We have to change the connection between the physical and the non-physical. It's not fire time. So being on the Queen of Wands is in reverse right now. Also signifying that, we haven't really been embarking upon that energy either. The Queen is the feminine energy. The fire is the energy of action. So we haven't really been allowing our spiritual to take action on this devil energy or on this transformation of the balance, the Libra scales of, where Rahu is, or Ketu, I'm sorry, the South Node, Ketu is. So being mindful of that. Mercury's in Cancer. So today, and so was a Sunday, this day of the third eye energy or whatever, I want you guys, find some space to meditate. Find some space to, in tune with your understanding of your spiritual self. Connect that physical and non-physical self together. You know what I'm saying? 3 is the number of creation and expression. How are you expressing that spiritual, intuitive, emotional self? It's some confusion here because y'all saying y'all don't like certain things, but you're allowing them into your space. You're allowing them to speak to your vessel. Your vessel is confused. You said you didn't want that, but you're allowing it. You know what I'm saying? You say you want a peaceful life and this, that, and the third, but you're making jokes on social media about X, Y, and Z. Or you're saying, oh, this is just the way it is. You're saying you're a god, but you keep giving power to a 1% and calling yourself slaves and saying you're less than, or you're smaller than, or you're beneath something. Which one is it? Because the body is confused. The spirit is confusing the body. Who are you? And what messages are you giving to the body? You know what I'm saying? Loyalty to yourself, loyalty to the connection of the physical and non-physical realm. I see this as hands being held between your internal and external self happening here, especially on the 7, which is the balance scales, that one, that, intellect, cardinal energy. All right. So that's what I got for you today, my cosmic nobodies. We done went over the gematria, the numerology, the astrology, the horoscopes through ancient Kemetic, Hindu. What else did we do? West African, Native American, Chinese, alchemist. We done did a bunch of stuff today. Is there anything else you want from me? What else do you want? All right. I'm glad you guys don't want nothing else. I love you guys so much. If you want a personal reading, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at lesnobodies@gmail.com. That is LESNOBODIES@gmail.com. And yes, I do this every night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We will do, later on today, we'll be doing the stream reading of Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And I will also see you tomorrow evening for the mathematics. I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo stellar. So peace to y'all on YouTube.